The Sphinx's face lies 6 feet underground, and its removal was a monumental task. The latest discovery in the California desert is truly unprecedented. Archaeologists have unearthed a massive 300-pound statue, raising countless questions about its origins, construction, and materials. The discovery has sparked heated debates and fervent curiosity. To learn more about this mysterious object, watch this video until the end. After almost a century, the shifting red dunes of California's central coast have revealed their final secrets. A team of 6 archaeologists, armed with shovels, horsehair brushes, and gallons of quake-hardening foam, meticulously removed a nearly complete Egyptian sphinx from the sands of Guadalupe, California. Restoration experts worked from dawn till dusk, taking extreme care not to disturb any of the federally protected rare plants that grow there. Due to these plants and the western snowy plover, a small, ecologically threatened bird, the dunes have been safeguarded since the 1970s, which is why it took so long for the excavation to occur. Additionally, it is an important area for local indigenous groups. Unlike the Great Sphinx of Giza, which is made of North African limestone, the Cali Sphinx is constructed of plaster. So what was a 300-pound sphinx head doing on the western coast of the United States? That is the question on everyone's mind. This artifact is not from ancient Egypt's deserts, but rather from the set of the 10 Commandments. In the 1920s, DeMille, a legendary figure of Hollywood's golden age, set out to create an epic retelling of the biblical story of Moses. To replicate the sandy setting of Egypt, a portion of the silent black and white film was shot in the Guadalupe Nipomo Dunes. DeMille commissioned a massive set that stretched 12 stories high and 800 feet wide, according to a press release from the Guadalupe Nipomo Dune Center, which led the excavation. This structure, one of the largest movie sets ever erected at that time, had a giant gate, pharaoh statues, and 21 plaster of Paris sphinxes. The late archaeologist on the project, Colin Hamilton, said, "Anything that we can recover from this site now, it is the time to do it." Jensen, the executive director of the Dune Center, a conservation organization that manages the beautiful Guadalupe Nipomo Dunes area, had a 20-year ambition of relocating the Sphinx. The 4-square-mile expanse of red-tinted sands inspires images of either ancient Egypt or Arrakis, the desert planet from Frank Herbert's Dune, depending on the light. Jensen battled for 5 years to obtain an excavation license and funding. As the project neared completion, he said it was exciting and terrifying. As one of the archaeologists carefully brushed sand away from the Sphinx's serrated headrests, it became clear that the artifact was a replica from the movie set of the 10 Commandments. It is debatable whether an object less than a century-old qualifies as noteworthy, but this is Hollywood, the birthplace of artifact fiction in the first place of the 20th century. The director was a prominent figure in the film industry, although his thoughts may not be as mysterious as the vacuum inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. Nonetheless, for Californians, this is considered significant history. The construction of the massive set required the labor of 1,300 people, 3,000 animals, 50,000 feet of lumber, 25,000 pounds of nails, and 250 tons of plaster. It was a daring feat that only a pharaoh would attempt. However, it was intended to be temporary. It's a significant find. "There's nothing else like it anywhere in the world," said Jansen. After filming was completed, DeMille ordered the set to be buried within the dunes for unknown reasons. One of the lingering mysteries is why DeMille chose to bury the set at all. Jensen proposed 2 theories. The first one is that DeMille had gone so far over budget that he couldn't afford to dismantle the set and transport it back to Los Angeles. The other reason is that DeMille, a control freak who was possessive over the smallest details, didn't want other filmmakers to use the set for their own productions. Repurposing sets, or even outright stealing them, was common in Hollywood during a period where CGI allowed for the production of entire universes on silicon. Because so few people realized it had been buried, the set was considered lost in Hollywood circles. However, Locals were aware of its existence, and it was rediscovered by Hollywood in 1983 when filmmaker Peter Brosnan stumbled upon DeMille's autobiography, which contained the following line: "If archaeologists ever explore the dunes of Guadeloupe, they will find the remains of the largest set ever built. I hope that in 1,000 years, they won't hastily publish a stunning revelation that suggests the Egyptian civilization had spread all the way to the Pacific coast." Brosnan set out to locate the hidden set and talk to the locals in and around Guadalupe, a small town in Santa Barbara County, situated west of the wine county center of Santa Maria. After finally finding someone who could guide him to the dunes, Brosnan discovered a cluster of placer fragments, rusted nails, and other debris scattered around the area. However, his attempts to excavate the site were thwarted by the Santa Barbara County, which controls the area, and hindered his progress with an abundance of red tape. This entire ordeal was documented in the recent documentary, The Lost City of the Mill. Finally, in 2012, Brosnan received permission and funding to excavate the site, and his team discovered a portion of a sphinx. Although they tried to salvage the remaining part, it was in poor condition and fell apart during the removal process. Nonetheless, this scene made for a dramatic conclusion to the movie. The reconstructed Sphinx is presently on display at the Dune Center, but there is still more work to be done. Jansen speculated that there might be another, more complete Sphinx out there. Last year, the team unearthed the second Sphinx, only a few yards away from the first. To avoid a repeat of the first Sphinx's fate, many of the original crew members, who are now excavating the second Sphinx, are using a unique yellow spray that adheres to the inner walls, providing stability. The crew's excitement grows as more sand is removed, revealing the opposite side of the skull and a massive paw. Jansen believes that preserving the elements of 20th century history in Guadalupe-Poma dunes is critical, not only for their uniqueness, but also for their importance in drawing people to the area to learn more about cinema history in the region. According to him, it was during the early years of the film business that we enjoy today that people worldwide could go to a movie theater and share the same experience. Thus, preserving these pieces of American history is crucial. The team carefully lashed the Sphinx's gigantic head onto a handmade sled made of wood and used surfboards on the last day of excavating. 6 persons were required to raise their heads out of the pit, buried nearly 10 feet below the surface for decades, still painted in awkward paint and glowing orange in the afternoon light. After restoration, the new Sphinx will be shown at the Dune Center in a few months. With movie sets from the golden age of Hollywood no longer in existence, this is a chance to conserve a piece of American history before it is destroyed. The set has deteriorated over time, and the Dune Center is attempting to raise extra funding for additional excavation work. Once restored, the Sphinx's head will be placed at Guadeloupe's Dune Center Museum. Interestingly, even though DeMille buried all traces of his 1923 hit, the story of Exodus remained with him. In 1956, the filmmaker planned to redo the 10 Commandments as a 4-hour technical epic with a larger budget and a grander set. Despite the circumstances, the 10 Commandments were buried beneath the sand for nearly a century. In conclusion, the preservation of historical artifacts is crucial for future generations to understand and learn from our past. The Sphinx in Guadalupe is just one example of how preserving history can benefit us today. Let us know in the comments section below what you think about this mysterious object and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.